Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this has been a Intruder, welcome to Plaguing, a game about destroying the world, because when you think about it, in video games, we spend a lot of time trying to save the world. And seriously, what's the world ever done for us? Screw the world, let's burn it all down for once. And the exact mechanism we're going to use to destroy the world on this occasion is this adorable little cuddle bug right here. Oh, he's just flipping adorable, isn't he? Now, I've played a couple of games of this already, and I found normal pretty simple, really. So, we're going to take a bit of a step up to brutal, which the game describes as four strategic geniuses living inside concrete bunkers. So, yeah, we'll see how well this goes. And specifically, we're going to be spreading the plague of many a true nerd. We're going to see if we can convert the entire planet into being subscribers, and then immediately afterwards start killing them. So, this is the world, just in case you've never seen a map before, and what we need to do is figure out where many a true nerd started, and I suspect it was in Britain, alright? That's the right thing to do right there. So, we're going to have Patient Zero in Britain. Patient Zero is, there we go, many a true nerd begins in the UK, absolutely lovely. Click that for some DNA points, get to that in a second. Oh, and it's already spreading fast. So, we had ourselves Patient Zero, let's call her Claire, and then she just spread many a true nerd to a couple of other people. We'll call them Matt and Thomas. So there's 3 people infected in the UK right now. Absolutely flippin' lovely. But that's 3 people out of, 7 odd billion around the world. So that's not great. We're going to need to speed that up a bit, and that's what the DNA is for. So as people get infected and as it spreads to new countries, we'll get DNA points, which we can use to make my virus a little bit more effective in all sorts of different ways. So here we go, nice easy starting point here. Let's say I want to give my virus a symptom in the form of a rash. That's going to make my virus a bit more infectious. So yeah, there's 3 different things you can do. You can make it more infectious, you can make it more severe, or you can make it more lethal. Now for the time being, we want to focus on infection. So there we go, rash now in place, and the reason we want to focus on infection is because right now, these people are basically just carriers. All around the world, many a true nerd has not been noticed. Yet. And that means no one's researching a cure. These people are basically carriers with just a very slight rash. No one really notices, no one really cares, no one knows what it is. People are saying, oh, it's probably just a bit of eczema in winter or something, diddly diddly day. So as a result of that, I want it to fly under the radar for as long as possible before anybody realises this is a bad thing. So I want it to spread across the world before anybody starts actually researching it. And the UK's got like 2 ports and a major airport, so therefore if we're lucky, pretty soon it'll start spreading. And there we go, there's another DNA bubble too. And more and more and more, just keep an eye on them, so they will disappear if you don't click on them at some point. And if we're very, very lucky indeed, transmission. As the UK's got 2 ports, let's make this thing be able to be transmitted by water, which also makes it be transmitted by ships. I'm not sure that makes sense, but whatever. But this is what we want. I'm going to be focusing on these upgrades over here. Transmission by air, transmission by water. Let's get this thing spreading as fast as possible. So there's pockets of it on every continent before anyone even realises there's a problem. And as the game is trying to flag to me, yes indeed, infection rates are low in the UK because the UK is wealthy, there's doctors, there's medicines, there's diddly diddly dee. So every single country has its own special things going on. So the UK is cold, it's humid, that's a very polite way of saying it rains all the time, it's urban, and it's rich, meaning some viruses and some upgrades will work better or worse here. But I want it to be slow, because for the time being, I'm not on a timer. When the world realises many a true nerd is a problem and must be stopped, then the timer will start ticking. For the time being, it's not. So I want many a true nerd to just covertly have little pockets all over the world before anybody even realises what's going on. And there we go, I've now got enough DNA to get basic air travel going on too. But what I will do is increase the infection. And what I want to do is get the upgrades that increase infection without increasing severity or lethality. Severity means the populations of countries will be less effective at, say, I don't know, curing your disease. Lethality, of course, killing people. Ultimately, I want to kill literally everybody, but I don't want to do that just yet. If people start dying too quickly, then people are going to start getting suspicious and maybe, trying to cure the disease because it's killing everybody. So that's absolutely lovely. And now we've just done that, the rate of infection should start slowly rising in the UK. There we go. It's definitely a bit faster than it was. It's only like 17 people in the entire world out of 7 billion. But it's definitely going up a bit here. In fact, you know what? Let's go for a bit more. Pneumonia. So people are coughing and sneezing and whatever. That's the stuff. That's the stuff right there. More and more infection. And now that's in play, yeah, the number of infected are going up. And yeah, it's like a fractal. Now there's more and more people, those people are exposed to more and more people. And we've all seen this film, or rather, maybe you haven't. Back when I was a kid, there was a real trend for movies about pandemics. They've sort of gone out of fashion in the last decade or two. But that used to be a really big thing. But here we go. There's the fractal starting to spread out. The rate of infection is going up and up and up, and it's only a matter of time until one of these people decides to go on holiday. And right now, all they think that's wrong with them is, yeah, they're just, you know, coughing, maybe a bit of, okay, pneumonia can be a bit on the bad side. Maybe they don't know it's pneumonia. Maybe it's like pneumonia-like symptoms. They've just got a rash, they're just coughing. Ah, but here we go. This is another thing your virus does. It starts mutating by itself, so basically free upgrades. Now, you might be thinking, that's good news, except, it's not always, because it means, yeah, your virus starts picking up, symptoms you might not want to have. On this occasion, though, that's good. So, sweating. Now there is sweating, so more dangerous in cold countries. Britain is a cold country, so that's actually good. It's not a bad thing at all. So now, if we look over here, yeah, look at that. The infection rate is starting to go up and up and up, and it's only a matter of time until somebody decides to, you know, step on a boat or a plane. Oh, and there we go. Claire has nipped home to France, and she's taken many a true nerd with her. So, we have now got our first step towards a plague. France is now infected. So France is, okay, it is rich, it is urban. It is neither particularly cold or hot or particularly humid or not. So yeah, the only two facts affecting France are rich and urban. But even though it's now in 2 countries, nobody thinks it's a big deal. But now, the thing about Britain, of course, is we were waiting for it to spread by plane or boat, because Britain is an island, or rather 2 islands. Okay, many, many islands, but basically islands. So there were no land borders according to this game, meaning as a result of that, yeah, now we've actually got land borders. We might want to have a think about that. So here we go, transmission, as soon as I can afford it, birds. Because birds increase land transmission, which I now want. Because France has got a border with Spain, with Italy, with Germany, so it's got 3 good solid land borders with territories that also have their own airports and ports. So I would like it to spread in that direction as quickly as possible. And if it would like to spread, you know, further afield too, that'd be flippin' great. But still, nobody knows many a true nerd is planning to kill them yet. And in France, things are looking good. Up to 10 and rising. Though I say and rising, France is actually kind of stalled, actually. Okay, as France is rich and urban, let's make the disease a bit more appropriate for them. Here we go. If rats could be carriers, which I'd need 12 points for, then urban environments, it'll start spreading faster. So I probably want to get rats and birds out sooner rather than later. So let's just wait for the points to come in. Yeah, it's actually spreading out of control over in the UK, but that's fine. Nobody's dead. There's Spain. Okay, I think it actually went to Spain from the UK instead of... Oh, and there's Australia too. Okay, let's get caught up here. So, yes, we're now Spain, Australia, France, and the UK. But even in the UK, right now, the infected is less than 0.1% of the population. So, even though the UK is looking, you know, sort of red and blotchy, it's not a big deal yet. Not a massive deal at all. We need to increase the rate at which this is spreading, because right now it's a bit on the slow side, but that's fine because right now we are a secret disease that nobody knows about. Activate the birds. Oh, I see a red boat going to... Did that just drop it off in? Yep, Central America. Okay, we have now got Central America. That could start spreading north and south. That was some more DNA coming from France. Someone nipped over to Russia from the UK. 12 people in Russia. So Russia is rural, it's humid, it's cold. Okay, this is precisely what I wanted to start seeing. So now, all of a sudden, there's Canada. Good, 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 good. So the UK is up to, in all fairness, not that much really. The UK is, for the most part, just fine. Some people are sick, but no one knows it's actually that serious. It's just 250,000 people out of 70-odd million population. Not a big deal. But we have seeded this illness all over the world. Good. And new countries, and there's another one right there. That is Mexico. Lovely. There's another one coming in right there. And yes, I know there's a world menu. That was, there's Indonesia. There's Iceland. Okay, we're picking off the islands, which is good. Which is very, very good indeed. And also, cysts. Okay, we've picked up, potentially, yeah, a symptom I didn't necessarily want. So, painful lumps, pockets of the pathogen, slight chance of bursting, can spread disease. Okay, that seems good, all things considered. Let's increase infectiousness with sneezing. Love it. And as right now we're struggling to make progress in Europe, yeah, drug resistance. So that's nice and cheap. Let's make some fast progress right there. And, yeah, decreasing future research speed. Sooner or later, someone's going to start researching this in the lab. Let's slow that down, please. Slow it down. Okay, we've got ourselves Egypt. That's China. Okay, China might start spreading very fast because China is, you know, densely populated. Especially as, oh yeah, actually we don't have the rats yet, so keep an eye on China. China tends to sort of explode. That'll be the point when people realise something's gone wrong there. There's Kazakhstan. This is good. Right now, world, many a true node's not been noticed, but we've infected like, not quite half the countries in the world, but maybe a quarter. We're starting to get somewhere. There's America. That's going to be another country over there. That is, what was that, Russia or Korea or something? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we're starting to spread. And now, yeah, the number of people infected is now rising by 1 million every day. But even though that's happening, it's not deemed to be a big deal because the symptoms aren't that bad. But infected planes are just all over the place. We've got New Zealand, which is good. There's still islands that have not been infected yet, which could be a bit of a problem. So, okay, some of the islands that have been infected don't actually have airports. They've just got ports. I'm going to try and sort that out right now. So, transmission, boat 2, please. There we flipping go. Boat 2. So, get that underway. The problem is, sooner or later, the UK is going to realise it's actually got a real problem. Because, yeah, the infection rate in the UK is starting to explode right now. So many countries. Yeah, the UK has realised there's a problem. They're starting to work on a cure. They're not treating it as high priority yet, though. Progress is going to be very slow indeed. It's just research funding 1. They're spending a small amount of money, no big deal whatsoever. The cure is still, yeah, it's not coming till 2077, so no one's too worried. Now, I could try and slow them down by making the plague more, you know, severe, because then anyone who gets infected who's a scientist won't be able to work as hard, but that's going to flag problems to other countries. China is actually not doing so bad. Russia's actually the big one. Russia is exploding right now. That might be the fastest growth in the world at the minute, actually. Australia is nice and slow. Oh, yeah, Russia is really taken off. Okay, the world's going to realise there's a problem really soon because Russia is very infected. Okay, so Europe and Asia is looking good. However, America, South America, Africa, that's more of a problem because Africa doesn't have that many airports in it. So we need land transmission to kick in before anybody starts shutting down their borders or anything stupid like that. So, okay. What do we want to do to speed that up here? I mean, I could just get up to, yeah, there's a special upgrade that becomes unlocked when you get this one. I kind of want it. Because, yeah, that just means that it spreads a lot quicker in general. But land borders, I won't say no. Take it. And if we can afford it, no. The heat one's a bit on the expensive side, heat resistance, which would have been good for getting through Africa. But we'll leave it for the time being. There's plenty more countries to be infected yet. So we're going to get in plenty of points as time goes by. More infectious people travelling. Russia has most definitely become... Oh, yeah, Russia is now exploding. There's Argentina. There's a bit more from over there. There's Sweden. That's Peru. That was, what, Saudi Arabia. That's the Middle East, which is just one country. Sometimes it's countries. Sometimes it's not. Okay, that was a lot of points. So, let's just get it spreading before anyone closes borders. So, air travel 2 and extreme bioaerosol. Yes, good in humid and arid climates and plane or ship transmission. Yeah, let's maximize ships. Make sure that the islands all get infected before there's a problem. So infected planes are going everywhere. South Africa is looking bad, and pulmonary fibrosis. Okay, there's the Caribbean. There's another island that's been infected. Okay, so hang on. Pulmonary fibrosis. I think that one's actually good, by the way. So, yeah. That's a tiny bit of lethality, but only if mixed with extreme exercise. So infection is really high right now. And if I was to go for skin lesions, that would massively increase the rate of spreading. Slight increase in severity too, but probably just about worth it. But there's a big one right here I could unlock as soon as I've got the points, which is total organ failure. That's the kill button. That's when severity and lethality starts jumping. But I don't want people dying yet, because if people start dying, people are going to start panicking about the fact people are dying. And right now, the UK shut down its... You don't have any land borders, you stupid bastards. They've kept the ports open, though. And the first death has just occurred. People are starting to die. In fact, actually, like 200 people. Maybe they're waiting for the autopsy results first or something. So, 6% of the world is infected. 94% healthy. There have been 200 deaths. That's going to start going up very fast, by the way, because there's a little bit of lethality baked into my disease thanks to, yeah, that whole business with extreme exercise. So basically, it's all the gym bunnies. The gym bunnies are dying right now. And yeah, here we go. Extreme bioaerosol, make it happen. Get that in play right now. Do I want more symptoms? Maybe not just yet. I could slow down research with genetic hardening. That's 24. Not a bad thing to get done. The world is starting to do some research. Iceland's involved. Korea's involved. We're up to a quarter of the world infected right now. And, yeah, things are starting to be shut down. Russia has shut down its airports, but they're 100% infected and starting to die too. And it's starting to spread here to Africa. I need it to start spreading through Africa. Oh, South America is exploding. Okay, Africa is probably my biggest, most interesting target right now, together with how many islands are left that are not infected. Madagascar, not infected. All of the islands around here, Indonesia is fine, Philippines is fine, New Zealand is fine, that's just part of Australia, and Japan's fine, right? Okay, so we need to get some boats over to Madagascar sooner rather than later, and speed up the rate of land transmission through Africa. In particular, if someone could, like, yeah, dump some disease into West Africa using that port there, that'd be great. Now, I have been banking a giant pile of DNA, so make it more effective in the heat. Yes, do that. Slow down research immediately. Lovely. What else do I know about these African regions? So, rural and poor. Poor but not rural, but hot. That's rural. You are also rural. Okay, and that is not rural, but arid. And as for Morocco, which is in a good defensive position right there, that is rural and arid. Okay, so hot and rural and poor stuff. That might work pretty well for helping take out this area. But I've got good news right here. Oh, Brazil's exploding. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's the stuff. That's what I wanted to start seeing. It's slow, but South America is now starting to explode. Mexico is looking bad as well. US is going to be soon. Okay, we've got cases in West Africa. Let's get it into Morocco. And immune suppression. Hang on, what's immune suppression? Did I even want that? Because I probably didn't. Can be lethal. Not good. Not good. Didn't really want that. Now, I can devolve that and get rid of it. And that would actually, yeah, get me a tiny bit of DNA back, in fact. Because I want to turn that one off. I want lethality to not be major for the time being. Now, what else do we have here? There's fever, which would increase lethality, but yeah, that would be infectious too. Necrosis would be a fair bit of infectious, but massive increase in lethality as well. Okay. Alternatively, pulmonary edema. Okay, leave that for the time being. Okay, don't do any of that business. Focus on what we can do here. So livestock is cheap. Rural areas, speeded up. Blood transmission, especially effective in poor regions. Get that in play. And insects, mosquitoes being carriers. Get that in play. Okay, that should speed up the advance of the disease in Africa significantly right now. So, I'm a bit worried about Madagascar. Why is nobody sending ships over there? Oh, that was a ship. Boom. Speak of the devil. Okay, Madagascar is also rural and poor, so it should spread pretty effectively over there. Okay, the US is looking good. Many true nerds have been placed on a watch list. Well, that's an odd thing to see written down in a game, but whatever. Okay, this is looking good. But the world is really starting to research the cure, by the way. Everybody's working on it. So this is the moment where we need to start making some difficult choices. Because I could make the disease more severe right now. I could start it killing some people. Because right now, sure, basically the entire UK is infected, but most of them are still alive. Like, the vast majority are still alive. 100% of people are infected, but like less than 1% of people are dead. And the people that are ill, they're not that sick. They can still work on, curing the disease. It's time to change that. This disease now needs to go up to a brand new level. I'm not sure I'm ready for total organ failure just yet. That might be a bit extreme. I'll go for pulmonary edema because that's a bit of severity. Yeah, we'll take that. Okay. I'm going to take necrosis for now. So that is a lot of severity, a bit of infectiousness, and a bit of lethality. So people are going to start dying. The only risk is if people start dying faster than they start spreading it. So if we look at Libya right now, the death rate is going to start going up fast, but the infection rate is going up much, much faster. We've just got to be a bit careful. That's looking fine. And fear is slowing the economy. Good. Good, good, good. Screw the economy. And 25% cure. Okay. The UK is now, look at the death rate. The death rate is now going to start jumping up. Not that fast, but it is starting to happen. And we've got abscesses too. So that is infection rate when they burst. Okay, that's pretty good, but opens up some other stuff for me too. So even more infection through tumours might be a bit fatal. Or, oh, that one's nice. Systemic infection. So, bit of death, lot of severity, bit more infection. Okay, max out infection. Boom. So my bacteria is now as infectious as it can be. It's severe, and it's killing some people, but not everybody. And South Africa is leading the actual attempts to, cure the world right now. And they are pretty badly infected. Watch out for this, by the way. Yep, I've killed more people than Black Death. Hooray for me. No. Click on that. Make sure. Oh, dear. Yes, here we go. People are dying in Spain faster than they're catching the disease. Doesn't look that way to me, but whatever. So, we've got to watch out we don't accidentally burn the disease out. I'm now on the clock against the cure, but there's a real risk that if I kill people too quickly, in the countries that are not that badly infected yet, and your land borders are open. Okay, that's surprising. Okay, I'm amazed you're not more infected than you are, but okay, it is going up fast. Okay, this is looking positive right now. This is looking positive. The US is resisting as well as it can. The infection rate over there is slow. Very slow. The world is really obsessed with finding a cure right now. I'm not surprised because, 400 million people are dead now. And that means it's time for us to try and slow this down a bit. So, here we go. Let's just slow all of this down. So, genetic reshuffle, 21 points, and that will immediately put the world back a few stages. There we go, back down to 40%. Good, I've killed more than smallpox, and I need to make my disease more serious. My disease needs to become... Oh, there we go. Okay, Africa has now exploded. Good, no resistance going on there. The US is exploding too. 50% complete, but I'm gaining DNA really damn fast. So, genetic reshuffle. Just keep doing that, or... No, hold off on that for the time being. Okay, make sure we understand what's going on here. Angola's closed its borders, but there's a significant infection. How fast is it going up? Pretty fast. there's a risk. If I activate it now with Angola and Botswana, if I activate, kill mode on the virus right now, it's going to completely tank the world's rate of production of the cure. But it might mean the infected start dying before they can spread the infection to other people in the few remaining countries that are not looking so terrible. I'm going to wait. I'm just going to wait. Alright, let the situation get further out of hand. Norway is starting to collapse right now. And nausea symptom. Okay, we've picked up nausea. Didn't necessarily want nausea, but on top of dying, people are now going to feel a bit unwell, so that's a bit of a shame. Watch out for this. And wherever it lands, click. Click, click, click. Screw you. No, you don't. No, you flipping don't. Screw you. Okay, the world is now dying very fast. The rate of death is huge. 100-odd million dying every day. Okay, I would say we are now in a good place. In fact, you know what? Check the actual stats here. How many people are still healthy? 2 million. 2 million people are still healthy. But there is no major holdout country. Alright. There are some countries, I think like the uninfected are just sort of, they're everywhere. They're just all over the shop. It's time. It's time to activate total organ failure. This is going to massively screw over everybody, basically. So at this point, the death rate is going to start accelerating like nobody's business. So, yeah, there we go. People are dying very fast right now. No, you don't. No cure for you. Screw you bastards. And there are no... Yes! There are no healthy people left in the world. Good. Good, good, good. That means all we need to do now is survive. We just need to survive long enough to kill them. Okay, throw everything we've got left at this point. Ooh, hemorrhage shock. Yes, that sounds fun. What else have we got that might actually, like, kill people? We need to basically just go for the lethal stuff now. We just need to kill them as fast as possible. Yes, there we go. Lethality and severity. That's going to slow down the rate of world cure production. For the simple reason, people are starting to die. And sooner or later, entire nations are going to be dead. Let's just check in with the UK here. Yeah, the UK is now dying out fast. So the UK were... Oh, 75% complete. The UK were contributing a lot to this because that's where it all started. But momentarily, Spain is now in anarchy because of many a true nerd. Britain will momentarily be completely flipping dead. Research appears to have ground to a halt. There we go. The last few people are dying. Now it's slowing down because obviously, you know, I guess the last few people are like naturally hearty or something. And how are we doing in terms of the world? Oh, Britain might actually be the last flipping holdout here. Britain's doing well. Central Africa was the first nation in which everybody is dead. There are now 130 million people left in the world, but I think we've done it just for safety. Just for safety. Do another genetic reshuffle. Boom. And with that, I think everybody is dying. We're down to, at this point, there's only 26 million, 20 million, 17 million, 50 million. And the world has been destroyed. But before it does, I think we should, you know, give a special award out to Italy and Japan, who decided to keep their airports open, and France, who managed to keep the port in Brittany open. They've literally got no one in the world to trade with, apart from India. But then again, is there even anyone left in India? No, there's no one left in India. But no, sorry, the port is actually in Southeast Asia, the combination of various countries down there, where there are still 300,000 people, and France is down to 54,000. So, not for too much longer, though. Oh, who's going to die first? France or the UK? How's the UK doing? Oh, no, UK's gone. UK's dead. In fact, there's a pretty damn long list of dead countries right now. You can see there all the countries in black. So, I wonder who the last survivor will actually be, by the way. We're down to, many a true nerd is to eradicate the humans. Screw you, humanity. Screw you, world. And we're down to under 100,000 people who are going to be the last few. There's some people dotted about, but it looks to me like we've got it. 12,000 people left. It's the US. Potentially it's Peru. Could be Afghanistan or Korea. Alright, we'll see if we can figure it out. 6,000. Check again. Oh, it's the same groups again. It's the same groups again. Just 7,000 people left in the world, but many a true nerd is about to finish them off. And just to make sure it happens, you are now going to be suffering at the same time from... Let's go for some hypersensitivity. There you go. Some hypersensitivity for you. And with that, the last 24 people in the world were in Afghanistan. The winner of the Plague Inc. Battle Royale is Afghanistan. 24 people still alive there, but unfortunately, they're not really going to be able to complete the cure by themselves. And with that... Oh! Got myself some extra DNA. Victory! Many a true nerd has successfully eliminated all life on Earth. Well, screw Earth. Those dicks deserved it. And you even get a lovely, lovely summary, so we can just actually speed that up and just watch that happening. That's pretty slow, because yeah, I like going for a slow, cautious opening, where you seed all around the world with infection before you actually ramp up the actual killing later in the world. So there we go. It spread over to France, then to Australia. It was a slow start. It was a very, very slow start indeed. In fact, yeah, the first year was basically nothing. So there we flipping go. I'll take 3 stars, or rather like, you know, biohazard symbols. Brutal difficulty, and there we go. The world is now just seething in a massive disease. Screw you, humanity. And there are loads of other different types of things you can play with, so viruses or fungi or whatever. And yeah, as you actually play through, you unlock more and more things you can plug in. So on this occasion, yeah, I could make myself be able to travel by land or by plane a bit better. What did I just get, by the way? Ionized Helix bonus DNA when devolving, because yeah, you can just get rid of things for a tiny bit of a refund. So that's nice. That's very, very nice indeed. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I think you get the point. This here is Plague Inc. and it's really rather good, isn't it? I mean, it's not desperately complicated, really, though it does come with a whole bunch of different scenarios and multiplayer and diddly-diddly-dee. But yeah, it's fun. It's very, very interesting indeed. I hadn't really played much of this before at all, so this was a bit of a revelation for me in many ways. I will say, there is one thing I now wouldn't mind giving a go to, and that's mega brutal difficulty. So we might well see this again in some form or another, for me giving a bit of a look-see at the highest difficulty. So watch this space. We might well see a bit more of this, because yeah, I've had a nice time with this one. This is fun. This is good damn stuff. Link in the description below in case you're interested. As I say, may well see this one again in future. We shall see. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Plague Inc. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Oh no! Oh dear! America's decided they do not like us! Just want to finish off China. I can die happily. Well, not happily because there's nuclear fire involved, but moderately happily. There we go! I've just started... Oh god. The Earth was fun, wasn't it? We can all agree the Earth was great.